Well, hello, here we are doing another walk and we're heading toward Brisbane Story Bridge, but right now I'm at Kangaroo Point and the cliffs are just in front of me there on the right hand side, and what a beautiful view. It is raining this afternoon. You can see my umbrella just coming into the frame there, but we need this rain anyway. Hope it rains out where the rural people and the farmers need it the most. So we're going to walk toward the Story Bridge. Story Bridge is a heritage listed steel cantilever bridge spanning the Brisbane River that carries cars, bicycles, pedestrian traffic between the northern and southern suburbs of Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And the Story Bridge, by the way, is the longest cantilever bridge in Australia. The road across the bridge is named the Bradfield Highway. By the way, the road across the Sydney Harbour Bridge is also called the Bradford Highway, but don't confuse that. The Story Bridge connects Fortitude Valley to Kangaroo Point. We're on the Kangaroo Point side. And the Story Bridge opened in 1940 and was tolled until 1947. And it's named after prominent public service John Douglas Story. So given the early settlement of Kangaroo Point, there's a long history of residents wanting a bridge between Brisbane CBD and Kangaroo Point. And even while the first Victoria Bridge was being constructed between North Brisbane and South Brisbane in 1865, several hundred people at the same time were petitioning for a second bridge to be built from the Customs House to Kangaroo Point. Well, in 1888, a meeting was held in Brisbane Town Hall to demand a bridge connecting either George Street, Albert Street or Edward Street via the City Botanic Gardens, with any loss of the land from the gardens to be potentially compensated by removing Government House. I'll just give you a bit of a look around here. So a bridge downstream of the Victoria Bridge was part of a larger plan devised by Professor Roger Hawken of the University of Queensland in the 1920s for a series of bridges over the Brisbane River to alleviate congestion on Victoria Bridge and to divert traffic away from the Brisbane Central Business District. The William Jolly Bridge was the first of the Hawken planned bridges to be constructed. Lack of funds precluded the construction of the downstream bridge at that time, and initially plans called for a transporter bridge further downstream near New Farm. In 1926, Kangaroo Point was recommended by the Brisbane City Council's Cross River Commission. Subsequently, the bridge was constructed as a public works program during the Great Depression, and the cost was to be no more than £1.6 million. Before the opening of the Sydney Harbour Bridge in 1932, the Government of Queensland asked John Bradfield to design a new bridge in Brisbane. The Queensland Government appointed John Bradfield on the 15th of December 1933 as consulting engineer to the Bureau of Industry, who were in charge of the construction of the bridge. And in June 1934, Bradfield's recommendation of a steel cantilever bridge was approved. The design for the bridge was based heavily of that of Jacques Cartier Bridge in Montreal, completed in 1930. And on the 30th of April 1935, a consortium of two Queensland companies, Evans Deakin and Hornibrook Constructions, won the tender with a bid of £1,150,000. We're walking toward the Story Bridge. There's the Kangaroo Point Cliffs. Just in front of us, there's actually stairs going down those cliffs. I'll try and keep this umbrella out of the camera as much as I can. So it's Wednesday the 21st of October 2020 on a rainy Wednesday afternoon. I'm just trying to keep water off this camera as much as I can. So construction of the Story Bridge began on the 24th of May 1935, with the first sod being turned by the then Premier of Queensland, Forgan Smith, and components for the bridge were fabricated in a purpose-built factory at Rocklea. There are 1.25 million rivets, or that's metal pins or bolts, in the Story Bridge, and as we walk along the Story Bridge, I'm not going to count them, but take my word for it, 1.25 million rivets. And during its construction, work sometimes continued 24 hours a day. The bridge has only one pier on the northern bank, but two piers on the lower southern bank. We're starting from the southern bank, but the two piers, one to bear the weight, the main pier, and further to the south, one pier to prevent the bridge from twisting. That's the anchor pier. There was no need for an anchor pier on the northern bank as the bridge was anchored into the cliff face. The primary challenge in constructing the bridge was the southern foundations that went 40 metres, 130 feet below ground level. It was not possible to excavate to that level, as water from that level would rapidly seep in. So a pneumatic caisson technique had to be used, and as men were working under pressures of up to 4 times normal air pressure, a decompression period of almost 2 hours was needed at the end of each shift to avoid the bends. An on-site airlock hospital, by the way, successfully treated the 65 cases of the bends that did occur. On the 28th of October 1939, the actual gap between the two sides of the bridge was closed. A concrete decking was then laid and covered by a Trinidad pitch topping, and the bridge was painted and sodium lighting was installed back then, and the bridge approaches were also prepared. And by the way, 3 men died during the construction of the bridge as well, which is sad. Just keep walking. And we've got just a tiny bit more history just to give you in a little while of the Story Bridge. I'm just going to show you quickly, these are the stairs leading down the cliff face. I'll just take you down a little bit and we'll go back up again, just so you can get a look down the side here. Those steps go down quite a few different levels. I'm hoping these stairs will actually lead somewhere, because that footpath down below seems to be cut off. I'm just going to see if we can go out here just a little bit. Might just be able to see the Story Bridge in the distance over there. Here we go. just rest my umbrella for a bit and just read you a little bit more history. So until it was completed, the Story Bridge was known as the Jubilee Bridge. The Jubilee Bridge in honour of King George V. It was opened on the 6th of July 1940 by Sir Leslie Orme Wilson, Governor of Queensland, and named after John Douglas Story, as we mentioned before, a senior and influential public servant who had advocated strongly for the bridge's construction. So the bridge that will be going on, hopefully, carries an average of 100,000 cars every day. The Story Bridge carries 3 lanes of traffic in either direction, as well as a shared pedestrian and cycleway flanking each side. And the road on the bridge, as we said before, is called the Bradfield Highway, not to be confused with the Bradfield Highway that spans the Sydney Harbour Bridge. A lot of traffic through here. Initially, a toll of 6p or 5 cents was charged to use the bridge, with toll booths constructed at the southern end of the Bradfield Highway. That's the end we're on now. And the toll was removed in 1947. Between 1952 and 1969, trolley buses operated by the Brisbane City Council used the bridge. It's amazing, tolls back then we used to actually pay something off, and then you didn't have to pay a toll anymore. These days with highways and tunnels, the toll continues forever, doesn't it? The Story Bridge features prominently in the annual River Fire display and is illuminated at night. In 1990, road traffic was halted so pedestrians could celebrate the 50th anniversary of the bridge's construction. And the bridge was again closed to road traffic on the 5th of July 2015 to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the bridge. And that particular celebration attracted almost 75,000 visitors to the bridge, who enjoyed food, drink and entertainment as they walked across the lanes, usually reserved for vehicles. Bridge climbs began in 2005 and have become a popular tourist attraction. So I think that'll do for our history on the Story Bridge. I'm just going to show you a photo of what the Story Bridge, I might actually show you that photo now because it's going to be difficult when I'm on the bridge to actually do that. So I'm going to show you which I printed out. I'm going to stick this on the wall and just show you the Story Bridge under construction. There it is, under construction there. And I've got another photo of another part of the bridge. 2 parts of the bridge. There we go. Being built toward each other to meet in the middle. Right, let's continue our walk. Get the umbrella in place. And we've done all the history. I'm sure there's more history, but I think that covers the main points. And I thought I'd get that out of the way, really, because it's going to be fairly noisy on that bridge with all the traffic, I'd imagine. I've got this new microphone, and it's got one of those wind socks on there. You will hear some wind, but certainly not as bad as before when I had the old mic. So I'm just hoping I can go straight onto the bridge from this side, because the left-hand side at one stage was closed to pedestrians. So I'm hoping it's open again now because I'm on the left-hand side, and what a pain it's going to be to get across to the other side. So St Vincent's Private Hospital there, as you can see on the sign. Yeah, St Vincent's Private Hospital in there. There's a lot of bike riders that use this bridge, shared by pedestrians, but perhaps because it's raining, there may not be as many bike riders or pedestrians, except for me and a few other people. It's a really lovely rainy afternoon. Just getting onto this Story Bridge. It's a bit of a lead up before we get there. I mean, I could have started here, but I thought you might like to see Kangaroo Point, the river where we started, Kangaroo Point Cliffs. And then to walk down from there to the Story Bridge. There we go, just about on the approach of the bridge now. all these units up here. Quite a long approach to get up to where these steel girders start. I'll see if I can find out what temperature it is for you. Doesn't feel too cold at all, actually. It's just nice. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. 20 degrees on that neon, or that lit up sign there. 3:55 p.m, 20 degrees. Wednesday the 21st of October 2020. You might be able to see a paddle steamer just in the distance there. Keep walking up. There's been sadly a few suicides from this bridge, and that's why they've got those steel, looks like chicken wire and steel guards above the green railings. When I was a lot younger, it was just the green railing. It sort of takes it away from the look of the bridge a little bit. Well, from up here it does anyway. From down below, I don't think it makes much difference. A couple of people building this during the construction of the bridge. A couple of people fell to their deaths as well. Pity I've got to look through this wire at this view. Might be able to get the phone or my camera down in through there a bit. It's about the best I can do. Yeah, you can see a few bike riders, but nothing compared to what it normally is, particularly on the weekends. There are bikes everywhere, and some of these bikes, I mean, I'm not criticising bike riders. I like bike riders just as much as anyone else. But there are a few that really ride at breakneck speed. And if one pedestrian even just put a foot out of place, they'd collide with them. They wouldn't have time to slow down. Ringing a bell sometimes doesn't work because that person may have music in their ears, that the person that's walking may have music in their ears, or they may be hard of hearing. So people just need to slow down a bit. And of course, I realise the majority of bike riders do the right thing. Here we go. I'm just going to show you. That's the beginning there. Pity I couldn't walk you through the middle. Down in through there, but I'd get run over if I did that. Obviously. So, okay, we're walking from Kangaroo Point over the Story Bridge, and we're heading toward the valley. The Brisbane River down there. They're the city cats. Brisbane City Council transport on the river. There's plenty of city cat terminals along the river as well, along the Brisbane River. So in one hand I've got this gimbal holding the camera, and in the other hand I've got my umbrella. And this umbrella is getting heavier by the minute. It's not a light umbrella. Usually you can swap hands with your umbrella, but I'm not going to try and swap while I've got a camera in one hand and an umbrella in the other. I don't want to drop anything. Get a bit of a look down the river here. Again, we're going to have to look through chicken wire. It's not really chicken wire, but you know what I mean. I might be able to just get down below and give you a look through here. Okay. So I just thought I'd take you down here. Just to have a look at this iconic bridge. Built in 1940, it was open to the public during World War II. Hi. Please subscribe. I really need subscribers. If I get over 1,000, then I can do live streams and you can ask me questions and talk to me in real time and I can just talk back to you straight away. But I need over 1,000 subscribers to be able to do live streams. No one requested this particular walk. I just thought I'd do it for you all. But if you do have a request, please write it in down there below and I will do my very best to do that walk for you. And we're nearly at the end of the Story Bridge. This bridge looks beautiful lit up at night as well. And as I said before, they let fireworks off this bridge at various times during the year. Fire in the Sky is one of those times. So I hope you enjoyed this walk on the Story Bridge. We started from Kangaroo Point Cliffs near the Brisbane River and walked the Story Bridge from the southern section to the northern section. and this northern section going into the valley. And by the way, we'll be doing a walk of the valley fairly soon as well. There we go. I'll just quickly show you this plaque here. Builders, Evans Deakin, Hornibrook Construction Proprietary Limited. They're all the directors there. I'm not going to read all those. Yep. And that's curving around there and heading in toward the valley. Okay, I think we'll finish our walk now. Really appreciate you watching this latest walk on the Story Bridge. There's just one more plaque here. This bridge was built by Queensland workmen under the authority of the Queensland Labor Government, the first sod being turned on the 24th of May 1935 by the Honourable W. Forgan Smith, Premier of Queensland, and the bridge was completed and opened on the 6th of July 1940 during World War II. All right, so thank you very much for watching once again. I really do appreciate it, and I really do appreciate you subscribing. I need those subscribers, and I can do those live streams and I can talk to you in real time. So have a fantastic rest of your day. I don't know what time you've started watching this video, but have a great day no matter what time it is in your day anyway. This is Explorerman signing out. Thank you very much. Uploading another video fairly soon.